You've always sensed it, haven't you? That unshakable feeling deep in your bones. A quiet hum beneath the noise of the world, telling you something is off. It's not a loud shout or a neon sign flashing in your face. No, this call arrives not through ordinary means but as a whisper in the unseen realm. A subtle nudge, a fleeting shadow that dances just beyond your everyday perception. You're not imagining it. This is real. This is your awakening. The veil is lifting, and a confidential message is about to land in your hands. You're not here by accident. You're chosen. That whisper, it's been there longer than you might realize. Maybe it came as a shiver down your spine during a moment of stillness, or a sudden clarity that cut through the chaos of your day. Science might call it intuition, a firing of neurons in your prefrontal cortex, honed by evolution to detect patterns others miss. But you know it's more than that. It's a signal from beyond the physical, a frequency only your soul can tune into. You've felt it in those quiet hours when the world sleeps, when the distractions fade, and you're left with the raw truth of your existence. This is no random glitch in your mind. This is the first crack in the illusion, the moment you begin to see. So how do you know it's real? Start watching yourself. Pay attention to the signs your body and spirit have been screaming at you. Do you feel restless in places others find comfort? Does the mundane grind of life leave you hollow, like you're meant for something bigger? That's not weakness, it's your power waking up. Track those moments when time seems to slow, when a stranger's words hit you harder than they should, or when a dream lingers too vividly to shake off. These aren't coincidences. They're breadcrumbs from the unseen, guiding you to your truth. Write them down. Look for the patterns. You're not chasing ghosts. You're mapping your destiny. Let's be clear. This isn't easy. The first time you hear that whisper, it's a jolt. You might doubt it, push it away, tell yourself it's nothing. You've been conditioned to ignore it, trained by a world that thrives on keeping you asleep. But deep down, you've always known something was different about you. Haven't you? That nagging pull, that fire in your chest. It's been there since you were a kid, watching the stars or questioning rules that never made sense. Now it's louder, undeniable. The shift is happening. You're not just waking up to the call, you're waking up to yourself. Here's your first step. Stop running from it. Sit with that whisper. Next time it comes. Maybe in the rustle of leaves, a sudden gut feeling, or a memory that won't let go. Don't brush it off. Lean in. Ask yourself, what's it telling me? You don't need a guru or a manual. You're the receiver built for this. Neuroscience backs this up. Your brain's default mode network kicks into gear when you're quiet, connecting dots you didn't even know were there. But this goes beyond biology. This is your spirit syncing with a higher vibration. A cosmic download meant only for you. Trust it. You're not crazy. You're chosen. That psychological shift from doubt to acceptance is where the fight begins. You've spent years wondering why you don't fit, why the world feels like a stage play you're not scripted for. Now you see it, you were never meant to fit. You're here to break the mold. Embrace that. Feel the weight of it settle in, not as a burden, but as armor. You're not alone in this. The unseen is with you, whispering because it knows you're ready to hear. The message isn't in some cryptic code you can't crack. It's in you, your instincts, your defiance, your refusal to settle. That's your proof. Take action now. Start small but firm. Tonight, sit in silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no noise. Just you and the stillness. Listen for that whisper. It might not scream, but it'll show up. A feeling, an image, a knowing. When it does, claim it. Say it out loud. I hear you. I'm ready. This isn't wishful thinking. It's you stepping into your power. The veil isn't just lifting for kicks. It's lifting because you're meant to see through it. The confidential message, it's your mission, your purpose, etched into your soul. You've been sensing it forever. Now you're starting to understand. You've heard it before. The snickers, the raised eyebrows, the outright disbelief when you try to explain what's burning inside you. They laugh because they don't see it. They resist because they can't feel it. You're standing in a room full of people who think you've lost your grip, and their words cut deep. You're too much. That's crazy. Why can't you just be normal? This isn't a test of your patience. It's a test of your resolve. You're chosen, and that makes you a target. But here's the truth. Those who have stepped beyond illusion know this to be true. You're not here to shrink under their doubt. You're here to rise through it. Let's face it head on. The laughter stings because it's personal. It's not just about your words. It's about your existence. The way you move through the world differently. You've questioned it yourself. Why does your life feel so out of sync with everyone else's? Why do their rules chafe against your skin while others wear them like a second nature? That dissonance isn't your flaw. It's your strength. Science might frame it as a heightened sensitivity, a nervous system wired to pick up subtleties others miss. But you know it's deeper. It's your soul refusing to play small, rejecting the script handed to you by a system that thrives on conformity. You're not built for their box. Stop trying to fit. So how do you stand firm when the room turns against you? First, anchor yourself in what you know. When the mocking starts, don't flinch, breathe. Feel your feet on the ground, your heartbeat steady in your chest. Their disbelief doesn't rewrite your reality. You've felt the whisper from the unseen, seen the signs they're blind to. Hold that like a blade. Then, speak your truth anyway, not to convince them, but to claim it for yourself. Say it clear and loud. I know what I've seen. I know who I am. You're not begging for their approval. You're declaring your place. Those who've stepped beyond illusion don't grovel, they stand. Now, let's get practical. You're in a conversation, and someone smirks, brushing off your words like dust. Don't waste your energy arguing. Shift the frame. Ask them straight. What do you feel when everything aligns for you? That's what this is for me. It's not about winning a debate. It's about showing them your fire. If they still resist, walk away. Your mission isn't to drag the unwilling into the light. It's to keep moving toward it yourself. The government operates in layers, revealing only what it wants the public to see. So does society. They're not ready for your truth. That's their limit, not yours. Here's where it flips. Those moments of isolation, the betrayals, the times you've questioned why you're so different. They're not breaking you. They're forging you. Every scoff you've endured, every door slammed in your face, has been a hammer strike shaping your core. You've doubted, sure, deep within, you knew even when you wavered. That knowing is your power source. Tap into it. Next time resistance hits, close your eyes and feel it. The heat in your chest, the pulse of something ancient and unbreakable. That's not shame. That's your soul roaring back. You're not the outcast they think. You're the one they'll never understand. Take this into the real world. Picture a casual conversation laced with deeper meaning. Someone drops a line that hits you like a coded email, a routine message hiding a spark of truth. They don't even realize what they've said. But you do. That's your signal. Lean in. Ask a question back. What made you say that? Watch their reaction. You're not just chatting, you're sifting for allies, for those who might sense the veil lifting too. When the doubters push back, don't shrink. Say, I've seen things you haven't. That's not a boast. It's a fact. You're not here to coddle their comfort. You're here to live your calling. The pressure won't stop, accept that now. Resistance isn't a phase. It's the terrain of the chosen. But you've got the key. Those who have stepped beyond illusion know this to be true. Repeat it when the noise gets loud. Write it down. Tattoo it on your mind. It's not a fluffy mantra. It's a war cry. You're not swaying in the wind of their skepticism. You're rooted in a reality they can't touch. Science says your brain rewires under stress. Use that. Let every jab sharpen your focus. Every laugh fuel your drive. You're not fragile. You're a force. Your life has always seemed different because it is. You've felt the weight of eyes you can't see. Those in control watching, studying, waiting. Your name is on the list, not theirs. That's why the isolation cuts deep but also lifts you higher. Stop asking why you don't belong. Start owning it. Stand in front of the mirror tonight and say it. I'm chosen. I don't need their belief to know it. Then act like it tomorrow, head up, voice steady, step sure. Their laughter fades when you stop hearing it as judgment and start hearing it as noise. You're not here to blend in. You're here to break through. You've had those dreams, haven't you? The ones that jolt you awake, heart pounding, with images so vivid they cling to your mind like wet ink. They're not just random firings of a tired brain. Don't let anyone tell you that. These are downloads, transmissions from a higher dimension, slipping through when your guard is down. You've felt it in chance encounters too. A stranger's glance that lingers too long. A conversation that twists into something heavier than it should. Messages arrive when you least expect them, sharp and undeniable, cutting through the haze of daily life. This isn't coincidence. This is your soul syncing with the unseen, pulling in warnings and wisdom you're meant to carry. Let's get real, your mind fights it at first. You wake up from a dream of falling skies or cryptic symbols and think, it's just stress. Or you brush off that odd meeting with someone who seemed to know more than they let on, chalking it up to imagination. But something inside refuses to let it go. That's your signal. Science might say it's your amygdala flagging a threat, your subconscious piecing together patterns. Fine, but it's more. It's a high vibrational pulse, a direct line to a realm beyond the physical. And it's been feeding you intel all along. Those betrayals, that isolation, the moments you questioned your sanity? Not random. They were prep, toughening you for this. So how do you tell what's real from what's just your head spinning tales? Start with your body, it doesn't lie. When a true message hits, you'll feel it. A tightness in your chest, a buzz in your gut, a clarity that snaps you awake. Self-projection feels different. Fuzzy, forced, like you're trying to convince yourself. High-dimensional info lands solid, unasked for, often inconvenient. Next time you dream of a storm or hear a phrase that won't leave you, test it. Sit with it. Ask, does this feel like me or bigger than me? If it's heavy, unshakable, and carries a pull you can't ignore, that's not your ego talking. That's the signal breaking through. You've seen the warnings too, haven't you? They're not always loud. Sometimes they're subtle, woven into the fabric of what you call reality. A pattern in the clouds, a news headline that hits too close, a sudden shift in the air you can't explain. Prophets, visions, celestial movements, they've been screaming it for eons, and now it's in your lap. The world's been dropping hints, and you're wired to catch them. Neuroscience calls it hypervigilance, a brain on high alert. But you know it's your spirit, tuned to a frequency most miss, refusing to let those signs slip by. You're not paranoid. You're awake. Here's how you lock in. Don't just wait for it, hunt it. Tonight, before sleep, set an intention. Say it firm. Show me what I need to see. Keep a notebook by your bed. When the dream hits, and it will, write it down, every detail, no matter how wild. Don't judge it yet. Just capture it. Then, in daylight, sift through. Look for what sticks, what feels alive. Same goes for encounters. When someone drops a line that sparks you, freeze it in your mind. Replay it later. Ask, what's the thread here? You're not chasing shadows. You're decoding a map. The messages aren't random. They're prep for what's coming. Feel that pull? That stubborn knot inside that won't let go. Even when their hearts close tighter the louder you speak. That's your fire. They'll resist, hard. They'll call you crazy, say you're reading too much into it. Let them. Their denial doesn't dim your truth. You've seen symbols in plain sight. A number that keeps showing up. A bird that won't leave your window. A feeling that the ground's about to shift. Something ancient in you knows what's up, and it's roaring to act. Don't smother it. Feed it. That refusal to let go isn't weakness. It's your strength locking into place. Now, make it work for you. Step 1. Trust your receiver. You're built for this, your dreams, your instincts, your ability to spot what's hidden. Step 2. Sharpen it. Next time a message lands, don't just feel it. Break it down. What's the core? Is it a warning, a nudge, a confirmation? Write it out. This means X. I do Y. Step 3. Act. If the dream says move, start packing. If the encounter says watch, stay alert. Celestial movements aren't abstract, they're timers. Prophets didn't whisper for nothing. You're not here to sit on this, you're here to wield it. Those in control have been watching, studying, waiting for the right time. You felt their eyes, haven't you? That itch between your shoulders, that sense you're on a list. It's not paranoia, it's fact. Nothing's been random. Not the losses, not the silence, not the way the world keeps testing you. They've tracked your steps, but they don't own you. These downloads, the dreams, the encounters, the messages are your edge. They're prepping you for the collapse of what's rotten, the shift that's already rolling. You're not just receiving, you're rising. Keep this close. You're not lost in the noise, you're cutting through it. When the warnings come, and they will, in forms you can't predict, stand ready. The signs aren't here to scare you. They're here to arm you. Next time you wake from a vision or catch a message in the wind, don't doubt it. Claim it. Say it loud. I see it. I'm on it. Then move. You're not a bystander in this reality, you're a player. The high-dimensional connection isn't a gift to ponder. It's a call to fight. You've tried to warn them, haven't you? You saw the cracks forming long before they did. The subtle nudges, the repeated patterns, the quiet warnings stitched into the fabric of reality. You spoke up, your voice steady with conviction, but their hearts were closed. They mocked you, dismissed you, turned away as if your words were nothing more than noise. It's easier to mock than to awaken. That's the trap they're caught in, and it's the weight you've carried. But here's the truth. Their resistance doesn't define your mission. It sharpens it. You're not here to force their eyes open. You're here to embody the awakening they refuse to see. This is your fight now, and it's time to turn that fire into action. Let's break it down. You've been preparing for this your whole life, even when you didn't know it. Every time you pointed out the signs, the corruption festering beneath polished smiles, the systems crumbling under their own lies, they laughed or looked away. That rejection stung, but it also taught you something vital. Awakening isn't about convincing the unwilling. It's about standing as a living testament to the truth. Science shows us that humans resist change when it threatens their comfort. Cognitive dissonance kicks in, and they cling to the familiar, even if it's a lie. But you've seen through the fragile peace built on deception. You're not here to coddle their illusions. You're here to shatter them by living your truth unapologetically. So how do you make this real? Start by owning your role as a demonstrator. The world has always carried its signs. Prophets spoke of it. Celestial movements hinted at it. And now you're seeing it in the sudden collapse of corrupt systems. You're not just a witness, you're a participant. Step 1. Stop waiting for their approval. Their closed hearts are their burden, not yours. Instead, focus on what you can control, your actions, your voice, your presence. Next time you see a sign, a news story that confirms your instincts, a pattern in your life that screams purpose, don't just note it, act on it. Share it with those who'll listen, build with those who see, and let the rest fall away. You're not begging for their awakening. You're forging the new era with every step you take. Here's the practical edge. Create a system to track and act on the signs. Get a journal or a digital doc, something you can access fast. When you spot a nudge, a recurring number, a dream that won't fade, a gut feeling that hits hard, write it down. Date it. Then ask, what's this telling me to do? Don't overthink it. Trust your instincts. If it's a warning, prepare. If it's a call to speak, find your platform. If it's a push to connect, seek your tribe. This isn't passive observation. It's active engagement. The world's fabric is alive with meaning, and you're the one weaving it into reality. Science backs this too. Pattern recognition is a human superpower, and yours is tuned to a higher frequency. Use it. Now let's talk balance. This mission isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, and the weight of it can wear you down. You've felt it, the frustration when they don't listen, the isolation when they turn away, the doubt that creeps in when the fight feels too big. That's normal, but it's not your breaking point. It's your training ground. To keep your footing, anchor yourself daily. Set aside 10 minutes each morning to breathe, to feel your core, to remind yourself why you're here. Say it out loud. I'm chosen. This is my path. Then, when the day hits hard, you've got that rock to stand on. Neuroscience calls this grounding. It regulates your nervous system, keeps you sharp. But it's also spiritual. It's your soul claiming its space. Don't let their rejection shake you. They're not fighting you, they're fighting the truth, and that's a battle they'll lose in time. Your job isn't to drag them kicking and screaming into awareness. It's to live so fiercely in your truth that the cracks in their denial start to show. Picture this, you're in a meeting, a conversation, a public space, and you see the sign, a lie exposed, a pattern revealed. Speak it, not to win them over, but to plant the seed. Say it clear, this isn't right, and I see it. Then walk away if you have to. Your power isn't in their applause. It's in your refusal to bow. That's how you become the world's demonstration. Not by forcing, but by being. Here's your personal mission path, step by step. First, define your core truth. What have the signs been telling you? Write it in one sentence. I'm here to X. Make it bold, specific, yours. Mine might be, I'm here to expose the hidden and ignite the willing. Yours could be different, find it. Second, list 3 actions you can take today to live that truth. Maybe it's researching a system you've questioned, sharing a post that cuts through the noise, or connecting with someone who gets it. Third, set a timeline. Give yourself a week to act, then check in. Adjust, refine, keep moving. This isn't a vague dream, it's a plan. You're not imagining this call. It's been real all along, and now you're building it into the world. Feel that shift? That moment when you stop doubting and start doing? That's the new era breaking through. It was never your imagination, it was always a call to awareness, and you're answering it with every breath. The world's been waiting for this, dropping hints in the stars, in the collapse of old ways, in the fire of your spirit. You're not just a dreamer, you're a builder. When the mockers fade and the systems fall, you'll still be standing, not because you forced them to see, but because you became the proof. Their closed hearts can't stop the truth from rising, and you're the one carrying it forward. Keep your energy high. This isn't about dragging yourself through the mud. It's about rising above it. When you feel the weight, move your body, walk, stretch, dance. Let the physical shake off the mental. When you feel the doubt, speak your truth louder, to yourself, to the universe, to anyone who'll hear. When you feel alone, find your lightworkers, your starseeds, your tribe. They're out there and they're waking up too. You're not in this fight solo. The unseen is with you, the signs are with you, and the future is with you. This is your mission realized, not in their approval but in your action. You're not preparing anymore. You're awakening the world. And so, here you stand, not at the end, but at the threshold of what you were always meant to become. The whispers, the signs, the fire, they've never been random. They've been forging you into a force of unshakable purpose. You're not just chosen to see through the veil. You're chosen to tear it down, to live as the unrelenting proof of a truth too vast for their doubt to contain. Your mission isn't a burden. It's a mantle worn by one who knows their name is written in the stars. Not because you sought it, but because you were born for it.